So,
I really want some roughage before I embark on 3 nights of Amtrak. So I'm gonna grab a salad somewhere.
it's hot. And it's bright and hot, mostly hot. So we'll be out here for a little bit this morning.
Elephant and castle include the trip.
What's this?
And with a quick check of the menu, that salmon salad is pretty good.
So what's up, guys? I'm gonna be out here just for a little bit this morning, and that's it. It's not actually early morning, but it's close enough. The sun's not up yet, so yeah, we'll do this for a little bit, then that's it. So yeah.
So I grab my suitcase.
Everyone doesn't like it, but I like being wrong. I like to be wrong at least once in my life.
And waited for boarding.
But yeah, that's true about Donut Media.
This is getting exciting. This is getting really exciting. I said that the first time we were boarding an Amtrak train. It was the Empire Builder with Suzanne, and she loved to make fun of me for saying how excited I was. But I am. And even now, this is a really exciting moment. Anytime you get to a train, especially a long haul Amtrak. I've typically struggled to follow my car, but there have been so many attendants standing outside along the way here to help me figure out where I'm going. This is like home in Amtrak. I'm optimistic about a good trip here on the Texas Eagle.
Rings.
I was booked into room D. It's upstairs in the supermarket, so I made my way up there to check it out. I've been so fortunate to travel with everything like this a couple of times before. We'll have plenty of time to see all it has to offer. It's more space than a single traveler really needs, but I was glad to have the extra space for such a long trip. I quickly settled in. It's great to be back on board. Now, if you've watched any of my other Amtrak videos, you know there's one thing that makes the whole experience so much better. So let me get it ready. Yeah, that's right. I brought my own pillow. Although Amtrak's new bedding is much, much nicer than the old stuff. More about that later. We were already departing. Right on time.
Welcome aboard the Texas Eagle Train 21 and 429.
You can always count on real-world practical advice from above when you're on Amtrak.
If you need to use the restrooms, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you lock the door. Otherwise, you may get unexpected company. And always give a courtesy flush before you leave. It'll be nice for your conscience and more pleasant for the person coming in behind you.
Her announcement reminded me how fortunate I am to be in a bedroom. This much space is not absolutely necessary, but it sure is nice to have the private bathroom this room includes. This seems like a good time to explore it a bit, so let's take a look around the room.
Yeah, I always wear rings sometimes. I wear rings, sometimes I don't wear rings.
Comments. Do the rooms lock? And the answer is yes, they lock from the inside. You can't lock them from the outside, so I've never had a problem with that, but maybe something like that. By the sink, you'll find soap and some tissues. Also a US socket for power. There's even a spot for a hand towel, which, like all the lines, are provided by Amtrak. Below the sink, there's a trash can, and those cabinets have extra towels in them as well. If you need more, you just ask. There's a small closet by the door. Here's a call button for your attendant and lighting controls for the whole space. There's a temperature control switch for the room over on the other side. It works pretty well. And here's where I plan to spend a fair amount of time on this trip. Above the chair, there's a spot for a US-sized carry-on bag. And this table was sturdy and made working or eating in this room really easy. The couch folds into a bed, and the upper bunk can also fold down. There's a coat up here, which was perfect for my backpack. It really helped keep the room tidy. And of course, here's the shower and the toilet. But it was time to get out of this room and explore the train. Our sleeper car, the only one on this half of the trip, was just behind the engines, the front of the train. In the middle of the car, between the bedrooms and the nets, you'll find coffee, or at least you're supposed to. It was kind of hit or miss whether it was there for us. But there was always plenty of water available. Just behind the sleeper car was a cafe car. Meals are included for sleeper passengers, and this is where they'd be served until we reached San Antonio. There was also a cafe with hot and cold food and drinks that were available to anybody on board for purchase. I headed all the way to the back of the train before returning to my room. All in, the Texas Eagle between Chicago and San Antonio had 3 cars, a cafe car, and 1 sleeper. Ordinarily, there would have also been a sightseer lounge, this is sometimes called an observation car, But we had to wait until the second half of the trip to see that get added.
Ooh.
Amtrak blamed shortages of equipment and people. Back in the cafe car, I
Catrum.
there's plenty, and if you're hungry, you'll probably find something to fill you up. Made my way back to the room just in time to wait.
We're stopped here waiting for a signal. So dispatch, which is kind of like air traffic control for airlines, controls trains moving up and down rails. As you can imagine, you've got somebody watching out for you. So right now we've got a red or a stop sign, and we're hoping that we can move along here shortly.
And we did. It only took about 5 minutes.
I just asked our sleeping car attendant whether she was going all the way to LA. And she said, Lord, no. She's stopping in San Antonio. So who is crazy enough to do this? Let's go.
But soon we were pulling into our first stop, Joliet, Illinois, home of Grammy Award-winning singer Lionel Richie. Unlike Endless Love, these stops are short. We had to wait 4 hours until St. Louis before we could get out and stretch our legs. One of the highlights of having a bedroom is opening the door and taking advantage of sweeping views from both sides of the train.
It's prophylactic.
Prunes, like pillows, are important elements to maximize your comfort on board. For more, check out our video from the Southwest Jeep. I'll link it below. For the rest of the afternoon, we made our way through much of Illinois. We passed pleasant-looking farms. Then we made stops in places like Pontiac, Normal, Lincoln, and Springfield. This first half of the Texas Eagle to Park 2 San Antonio still offers the flexible dining menu I've come to know over the last couple of years. And the menus were in our rooms. Thankfully, the good stuff, the really good stuff, that's Amtrak.
Let's try it up.
That's going to be available after we leave San Antonio, and it's absolutely worth the wait. But for tonight, I'm going back to an old favorite.
Meatball.
Would not be the start of an Amtrak journey without some meatballs.
Okay, I'm gonna get the book out.
I appreciated the kind note from our crew. I added a gin and tonic because sleeping car passengers get one free alcoholic drink at dinner. There was a bread roll, and in that box, a small salad. And as much fun as I like to poke at them, the meatballs were actually pretty good. I mean, I did clean the plate after all. I'll miss them when they're gone, but not that much. The traditional dining is really good. We made a couple of more stops before the sun set. We crossed the Mississippi River near St. Louis.
So it's just paper writes some shit down.
Chair break, which meant I could get out and stretch my legs, which felt great. Amtrak crew members were hard at work fueling the train. Our sleeping car turned down my room while we waited. All you have to do is ask, and they're happy to help. I hopped back on board, found my room transformed, and following the instructions I'd gotten at dinner to have the best day I possibly could, I slipped into this comfortable bed.
Good night.
While I slept for 7 hours, we slowly made our way through Missouri and into Arkansas.
Good morning from Malvern, Arkansas, just near Hot Springs. It's about 5:30. That was a pretty good night's sleep. It was fitful. The door of the bathroom kept opening, and I finally realized I needed to use my backpack to block it. That was a good move. I'm quieter in here. But a good first night of the Texas Eagle. It's time for some coffee.
But unfortunately, there was none out in the hallway. Is this a common problem, or was it just unique to this train?
Well, that was a swing and a miss.
So I waited for breakfast, which would be available at 6:30, less than an hour away. And I couldn't complain.
There we go.
As I watched the sun rise on the Arkansas countryside.
Febreze, when you host, your bathroom can feel like a revolving door. Keep things fresh with Febreze small spaces. It's an outlet-free air freshener that fights odors for 45 days. So even after every flush, you know your bathroom smells amazing.
Rated Teen. Star Wars Outlaws, available August 30th.
If you want to travel with your kid, but don't want to share your kid's bedtime, you might not want to share a hotel room. Get an Airbnb and get some time after bedtime.
Old Spice total body. The fight stay 24/7.
And that hour passed quickly, so I headed to breakfast, where I ordered an old favorite from the sector, the omelet, which my friend Craig had given an unfortunate label. Craig's prison breakfast. In addition to hot options like my omelet or French toast, there were also several items like Kind bars, yogurts made out for the takeout.
Maybe it's the tippy. Maybe it's the tippy.
It was comfortable, a perfectly pleasant place to eat.
This is certainly not a Zephyr, the Empire Loader, the South.
Wrong tip? Yeah, I think it's the wrong tip.
It's made me know I have so much head. It's a really relaxing day so far. Hope, Arkansas, home of former President Bill Clinton.
We even passed his childhood home. That's it right there.
Well, we're about an hour, 40 minutes behind schedule. This train operates over the Union Pacific Railroad, ladies and gentlemen. From time to time, we do encounter delays due to freight train traffic. We have had a heavy volume of freight train traffic northbound freight trains this morning as we travel southbound. Now, we may be able to make up some of that lost time as the day progresses. It's relatively going to depend on the amount of freight trains we encounter throughout the day. We will keep you informed as the day goes by. But again, as of now, our next stop is Texarkana in about 30 minutes, and we're running about an hour and 40 minutes behind schedule.
And would you know it, just as he finished his announcement, we met another freight train. But it was still a relaxing morning. There was plenty of time to make up the delay and buffer in San Antonio to connect with Sunset Limited of 4 hours. I wasn't worried about it. We encountered another freight train, but it didn't slow us down as we approached our first fresh air break of the day, which meant we could check out Texarkana. Welcome to Texarkana. Half of Texarkana is in Texas, and the other half is in Arkansas. So this was a critical moment on our Texas Eagle journey. We'd arrived in Texas, a place Davy Crockett once called the garden spot of the universe. What do you think of Texas? Leave a comment below, but if you don't have any thoughts yet, stand by. We'll be in this massive state for the next 31 hours.
I have sex so bad.
This was as good as
Yeah, right, that's so
check out
funny.
what's downstairs in the Superliner car. There's an accessible bedroom, a family bedroom, and more roomettes. I made a video highlighting the room categories of the Amtrak, and I'll link it in the description below. But down this hallway, you'll also find 3 bathrooms, which are much larger than the private ones and bedrooms. They're generally pretty clean. There's also a shower that's stocked with plenty of towels. It's also bigger than one of the bedrooms. In addition, there's room for large bags that won't fit in your sleeping accommodations, but don't forget, depending on where your trip starts and ends, you may be able to check your bags too. For more on that, check the Amtrak website. Who's back upstairs for me?
Can't use these pens, so it doesn't really matter how you get rid of this. Nice new ink.
That's Jefferson, Texas. It's the smallest McDonald's I've ever seen.
We pulled into Marshall, Texas, which, besides having a really good-looking station, has a lot going for it.
Okay, I really want to come back here for the Fire Ant Festival. Also, both George Foreman and Lady Bird Johnson once called Marshall, Texas home. I didn't know they had anything in common. But I guess they have that in common. At least.
My first, but hopefully not my last visit to Marshall, Texas was over before I even knew it. We were on our way to further points south. You know, I'm not sure why, but I find this route to be more relaxing than, say, the Empire Builder or the Southwest Chief, or the Zephyr. I don't know if it's because the scenery is less dramatic, so I feel less pressure to see it all.